I think we're having a very enlightening time today. We're going to have a next round of hearing from our very esteemed panelists, and then we're going to go over to you, our esteemed audience, for your questions. And we're going to make sure that each segment of this hall has an opportunity to ask a question. So I am going to start with you once again. Of course, we're going to be into time management as well at this point so that we can get through with as quickly as possible. In recent times, I'm sure you have read the news on the heads of the judicial arm of government in certain states, including Imo, where there were age falsifications. What came out as a punishment was that their retirements were backdated and they were asked to pay for the years, for the salaries and emoluments that they collected during those times. The question I have to ask you is, do you think that this is sufficient? Do you think that it speaks negatively to the sojourn that we're on to try to get our society back on track? And what do we need to do in trying to make sure that we do not send the wrong messages out there? Thank you.
Thank you. It speaks also to your faith in the system and the level of belief you have in it to assume that we are on that journey deliberately. If you ask me, I don't think we've started. There are a lot of Nigerians, including barrister as Senior Advocate Okutepa, who are here seated, and then what Ms. Ballason is doing, who want that to happen. But what I see is that those people who want Nigeria to start that journey are not in a place where they can make that progress. So you have a lot of good governance people outside screaming, but you have the people who can. You see, the issues we are discussing today, there are some you can tackle at the individual level. There are things communities can do. There are things individuals can do. But there are some problems you can only solve at the collective level. And he spoke to it where he said that there are varying levels of responsibility, right? And what I see is that the people who have taken over the system or who we have allowed to take over the system are not people who want to set Nigeria on that journey. And then if I may bring to the elections that Dr. Kwaja talked about, I do sincerely believe that when people go out to vote, that they don't cast their ballots, that what they give is their blood. Because shortly after the elections, there will be attack in Kajuru. Shortly after the elections, there will be something in Baptist High School. Shortly after the elections, there will be attack in all of those troubled regions. And what they are looking at, what the old women in Kajuru are asking is, who do we call in the middle of the night between these people on the ballot that can respond to us? And so what they give is their lives. What they give is their blood. What they give is the aspiration of a nation. It's not mere ballots. And when you have been given that, you must struggle to protect it. We have to be tired of politicians who are good people, but always complaining that they stole elections from them. So election protection is one of the strongest things we must do to be able to put people like Okutepa in the room where decisions are made. All right? Now, to conclude on that point, the citizens have also a role to play in this. And then if you ask questions, they will tell you, oh, but are you trying to talk about post-election violence and all of... I say, look, post-election violence is just a fanciful term. Because to Kajuru, they are always in violence, pre, post, during the elections. And that whatever happens, people will still be kidnapped. Whatever happens, people will still die. Because the cost of bad governance, really, is greater than that of the efforts you do to bring about good governance. So I challenge the citizens here. There will be another round of elections. We must not just get satisfied with voting the right people, but we must pay every price required of us to insist that those right people are in office. Because some of the issues being discussed here can only be addressed at that level. And if we don't pay the price to put them there, then we will pay the price in bad governance.
Thank you very much.